I would say communication is the key, especially in the remote environments, and having good communication structure and making sure that all employees are aware of our mission, vision, where are we heading to, what do we need to achieve.
Are you content in your business? I'm Si McMahon, and I'm on a mission to help business leaders and brand owners succeed through sharing stories, advice, and inspiration. This is the Content in Business podcast. Welcome to Content in Business, helping business leaders and brand owners succeed through stories, advice, and inspiration. And today I'm with Valentina Kovacic, Director of Marketing at Payara Services, a global open source company who creates innovative infrastructure software. Welcome to the show, Valentina.
Thank you. Thank you so much for inviting me. I'm happy to be here and share a little bit of insights about Payara for your listeners and watchers on YouTube.
Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. Looking forward to this. So first of all, tell us about Payara, what it does, how did it get started, and how's it grown?
So for those people who don't know, so Payara is born global, 2016. So it's multinational software company. We are headquartered in the UK, but we also have offices in Portugal. What's very interesting about Payara is that we are truly global, having customers all over the world, but also employees, being fully remote company that allows us to hire the best talent out there, but also to work in a fully remote way, which kind of works quite well for the company, but also for the people who work for us. Who we are open source tool. We are providing open source tools that are used to build cloud native web applications, making us recognized leader in the creation of this innovative infrastructure software for Jakarta E applications. So Payara platform consists of an open source server runtimes for development projects and containerized Jakarta E and micro-profile applications. So what developers do, they create applications using industry standards, which is Jakarta E and micro-profile, APIs, and then they deploy their applications to the Payara platform. What's very interesting maybe for your listeners is that Payara is open source company. So Payara community can be used freely, and we always encourage community to be very active, to help us develop the product that suits their needs. But we also have Payara Enterprise, which is the commercial product for companies, especially who have legacy applications, applications built in Jakarta E, and who work in regulated industries such as financial, insurance, health, government. So those are the customers who go for basically our paid product, which is Payara Enterprise, which is designed specifically for mission critical applications. What is our goal at the end? To make community satisfied, to provide Java developer community with the best experience, in using our products. And when it comes to our customers, we are trying to provide the best possible support, but also to provide a product that suits their needs. And we are trying to innovate all the time. So the product is kind of growing with our customers and following what's happening in the market, etc. So this is kind of in summary. At the moment, we have 50 employees, but we also have ambitious goals. Up to now, we grew around 30% year on year. And which is maybe interesting is that Payara is fully financed by enterprise subscriptions. So we don't have any investors. We don't have any backups, let's say, in a financial way. Everything happened organically, and our growth happened organically by companies worldwide using our product. Yeah.
So what would some of the typical applications of some of the software be?
So basically, as I said, like for regulated industries such as finance, let's say banking, all the applications which the bank develops are basically uploaded to Payara application server. And what we provide is security scalability, and manageability of these applications. So they don't have to worry about the infrastructure. They can focus on development. And this is the same for all other industries that kind of use our application servers. But on the other hand, also, for example, community members who want to innovate, who want to develop applications for their personal use, or maybe they want to, just play and innovate, developing different kind of applications. They also use Payara Community Application Server, and this is where they can explore the use of the application server for their applications as well. Yeah.
Right. Okay. You mentioned about the 30% year-on-year growth, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
Has that been as expected, or was there a different vision?
Our goal. The company operates based on objectives and key results. So we have certain objectives that we need to fulfill every year, and we have clearly defined and designed, let's say, this growth path through activities of all the teams within the company. And this happened not as a surprise. I would say it happened with a strategic approach that we have as a management team, but also as all employees working for Payara. We have certain objectives that we need to reach, and all activities are aligned with the objectives. And this is how results happen, with a controlled, controlled activities, and with a strategic plan that delivers the results. So it is a lot about, I would say, communication, working towards the mission that we have in mind, and our vision to be one of the, let's say, the most chosen application servers for Jakarta EE applications. Also, our goal is to be loved by developers. For example, when you go to these comparing websites, such as, for example, G2, you can compare Payara with other application servers out there. What kind of, singles us out is that we are top company when it comes, top server when it comes to ease of use. It's very easy to deploy their application. When it comes to customers, they are extremely happy with the support, and all of that, like working in all these areas and making sure that we make our community users and enterprise users happy is what is reflected in this steady growth, year on year. Yeah.
And those things, are they elements that you might not find in competitors, or is it just a case that you've done it better, or is there other things that have kind of triggered the success?
So we have competitors which are established named in this application server industry. So IBM, Oracle, Red Hat, they also provide application server services. And what kind of, what is our strength, I would say, is that we have one customer-centric approach in our operations. So definitely we can provide support, which is, I would say, quite different maybe than the bigger companies can do. It's quite individual. Engineers provide support directly to companies. Also, we have a very strong community, of users in Payara community, and being an open source. So this is something maybe that is different than our competitors, what they are providing to their users. This is something that we are very proud of. It would be definitely our product, but also, support which is excellent. We have a 99% retention rate when it comes to customers. So this is also kind of reflection that people who join Payara, the companies that join Payara, they stay with us for a long time. So yes, so these are some elements that maybe kind of impact the decision of companies to work with Payara. Also, being global, we have an expert team that is fully international, so people speak a lot of languages, being able to provide also individualized support in a language that our customers speak. This is also something that is, I think, also extremely important. We also invest a lot of energy in education of potential users, how to use Payara platform, but also we educate them about Jakarta developments. This is something that also is kind of impacting the adoption of our products. For example, in this year, we noticed that 150,000 users monthly are using Payara community, which is a huge success. So meaning that people like the product, developers are using the product, they are adopting in a way that they are stick and they are continuing using, for development of their applications. But also when these applications are ready to become mission critical and important for the organizations they are working for, they move to Payara Enterprise, which is our paid version of application server. So this is the way how we work. So I think it's very important in this customer centricity to offer free trials in the open source. Of course, this is something that we do. So Payara community is completely free, for use and for explorations. And this is something that is very nice because companies explore it, or individuals or developers, they can explore it, as they prefer. On that way, we try to support them with educational content, webinars, podcasts, documents that will help them succeed, in the development process and understanding the benefits of Jakarta EE standards. So yes, these are the things that we do and that impact our adoption of our products and our organic growth, I would say. So yes, those would be some things that I would kind of say that they are working well for us.
Yeah, I mean, I think the whole customer-centric approach is just always a good thing, a good angle to take, and a good practice to adopt. Because, I mean, ultimately, that's what we're here to do, is to provide services to people, support, whether that be through any business, through products or services or consultation or anything like that. It's all about helping others. So making them the priority. And it sounds like you've really got that down. Listening to
their pains. I think, when you hear companies that maybe are using some other application server in a company which is bigger than Payara, but we still are able to kind of listen to their needs and their pains and respond in the right way, offering really individual support and trying to resolve issues that they are facing and helping them to modernize their applications, helping them to move their business forward, to be faster when it comes to, maybe entering the new markets, etc. So having a company like Payara on their side, it's important, to have somebody you can count on and you can definitely use for your business as well.
Yeah. And also, making that community side of things as well. There's that constant engagement, isn't there?
Yes.
And that growth there as well.
This is, I think, open source. When we are talking about open source, how to market the products in the open source. Marketing is a little bit a dirty word when it comes, to how to market to developers. They don't want to be sold. They want to see the value in the product that they are using. They want to receive, information and knowledge that will help them succeed in the development process. So everything that you might use in some other industries will not work for developers because they expect different approach. They don't like to be sold. They like to, understand the value. And this is what we are trying to do in our marketing approach. And this is something that we are doing on a daily basis through our marketing activities.
What do you find in that marketing really resonates and really works with that audience, and what do you find challenging? I know you kind of touched on it there, but what have you really found to struggle with, and what has really kind of landed with that audience?
Yeah, definitely what worked in the past for us very well was content, good content strategy, addressing the needs of developers, addressing the needs of CTOs, and everybody in this customer journey, because every buying persona in the journey has their own, let's say, needs for understanding in order to use our product. So for developers, content is the king, definitely, because they like to understand more how to use the technology, how our technology also works with other technology stacks, how they can use, Payara with anything else that they're using at the moment, and helping them succeed. So what do? We are creating lots of educational guides, infographics, how-to videos, being very active in the community and trying to address also the issues they have through forums, for example, being following those community standards and being helpful and trying to help them succeed. So all the channels that we use when it comes to developers and community are not commercial. They are more like, let's educate, let's have a webinar, let's have an event where we'll discuss a certain topic, let's have a podcast, roundtable discussions. This is why we organize also, for example, hackathons for young developers who use Payara platform application server, or who use, for example, Payara Cloud, which is our new product that we have launched last year. How will they adopt the product depends how they engage with our product. So It's not about selling, it's more about, making it accessible, understandable, easy to use, easy to pick up, and become successful in the use of this product. So this is for developers definitely something that I would say it's working. It's also challenging, right content. What is the right content? What do they need to know? How we can help them to succeed? Is there already enough of content around a certain topic is already explored, so you might not be that successful in your content strategy. So finding the content that resonates and addresses the needs of developers is very important. And this is something that, of course, boosts visits to our website. It increases engagement on social media, having the events that will give them unique, helpful content is a key, especially with Google changing all the time and trying to boost content that matters, which is helpful, which is something that has not been already published, something that helps people to succeed is challenging, I must say. And also other channels as well. Talking about developers, we must also understand that they might not respond to digital advertising as maybe some other, personas and other people who consume advertising on a daily basis. So, for example, using the display ads will not work for us because developers are not behaving in a way maybe some other individuals would. So, finding this balance, what will impact them to engage with us? It's always challenging, and we are doing the good job, I think, but there is always ways to improve and to be more creative and to challenge ourselves as well, in marketing, how to reach these people and how to make sure that they understand Payara platform products and Payara Cloud, but also Jakarta EE technology. So we definitely do a lot of education around also Jakarta EE standards and micro-profile standards. We are also part of the working groups and trying to impact those standards to communicate what the community needs and how Jakarta EE should be also developing in the future. So there are different ways how we are operating in marketing. But yes, I would say, at the end, it's a marketing mix and using as many channels as possible that correspond to the needs of your target group. But it needs definitely more work, I would say, in terms of creation of content that resonates with our target audience in comparison maybe with some other industries. So this is what we do in marketing. And maybe the second thing would be the events that we do on a regular basis. For example, now in June, we are going to organize a Payara virtual conference. So this is a big virtual event. Last time we did it in December when we had 200 people participating and, from different profiles, from different companies, from different parts of the world. And we were very happy with the implementation of that conference where we were talking about, developments in Jakarta EE and inviting experts in the field to speak about different topics, also challenging the use of Java, why Java is still so relevant and how companies are using Java still. This is also something that we wanted to kind of address in this conference. And the next one is coming up, for example, in June. And we are going to speak about security and stability, which is a very important aspect for our users and customers, how to develop applications and make sure that they are secure and scalable and that, they can be at peace with their mind by using the software that we provide. So, yes, the conference will also address compliance standards that companies using IT technology must basically adhere to. We will speak about, for example, EU Resilience Act, which is coming up in 2 years, but still it's very relevant. It's very relevant because people don't know how that will impact the businesses. So it will be a lot of interesting topics. And this is something, for example, that works for our users. They like to be informed and they like to get useful information. And this is also something that we do on a regular basis for Payara.
I think there's two things there that stand out. And they've already been mentioned earlier on is again, there's that kind of service to the customer, to the audience. You're saying in your activity, you're focusing on them and what they need and providing that content for them to support them and to help them and be that guide for them. And then the other thing again is that community there. You said about getting people together, having open dialogue, sharing ideas, having an active kind of business role and an activity in what they do. So I think that's really interesting. You've obviously seemed to have put that into how the business works, but then how you communicate outside the business as well.
Yes, definitely. So your question would be like, I didn't understand.
Just a couple of observations of mine. I mean, there is the third observation is, again, as you say, it's always really, really difficult to do that content, isn't it? To keep that content going, it's we know that it's the right thing to do, but it's hard. It's hard. It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work, but it's also, I think, at the end, it's really valuable because you provide something that not only that helps, but also kind of impacts people's business activities. So, empowering them with the knowledge on how to use technology is very important. We also, for example, go for conferences, we sponsor certain conferences, but we also try to speak and position ourselves as an expert in the field. So all the Java related conferences is something that we are trying to attend and to submit talks and, share the knowledge on important topics. So this is also one channel where we, especially in this remote world where it's a little bit more difficult to meet face to face and discuss live certain issues. You learn a lot during these conferences and events that we sponsor, and where we kind of engage with our speakers engagements. So yes, this is the way how we actually learn about the market, and basically getting the feedback in order to improve is something that we do, for example, through conferences, live conferences and events. So this year, for example, last week we were in Germany attending JAC's Java Development Conference, and we will probably be at a few more throughout this year. So this is also one of the channels that we like, because we connect with community, we have a chance to meet with customers, but we also have possibility to meet maybe some new potential users who can use the Payara application server. Yeah.
You talked about the vision a little bit, about being the most kind of user recognized, and just go into that a little bit more. Have you got a time scale that you're working to there? Is there a kind of tangible goal that is yes, this is it, we've got there, or and then also what are the things that you think are going to be things to deal with on the way? Are there kind of challenges in getting to that point?
So basically how we do it is, we think also the innovation is very important, making sure that we develop additional products that are in line with, of course, with the trends, but also with needs of companies and developers. So we did launch, for example, Payara Cloud. So expanding the product range is something that we do. So Payara Cloud, for example, was launched last year. It's fully managed. It's a fully managed platform for Java Jakarta EE applications. What it does, it helps basically developers to focus on code while we take care of the infrastructure completely. It is unique in the market. I must say there is no comparable products at the moment, because of its simplicity as well. It's very simple to use. So developer just creates a WAR file and deploys its application in a few moments. What it does for companies, especially for smaller companies, is that, they don't need that many maybe team members within their company covering all these infrastructure developments. Payara Cloud takes away those, handling the infrastructure for the company, while they are focusing definitely on what is important, that is the developing of their applications. So innovations are the key, I think, making sure that we innovate will impact our growth, making sure maybe on the second place would be making sure that we hire right people who will help us succeed in this process. So that is kind of created in our strategy for hiring globally, where we have now people from India, Spain, Greece, Germany, UK, Ghana, Czech Republic. I think we have almost the whole world in Payara of experts and people who work for us. And I think using that strategy, hiring globally, we are able to single out top talent, those people who really have the passion to work for the open source companies such as Payara, who have technical knowledge, who are experts in the field. So they are definitely, I think, the most important source for the business growth, having people who can push companies forward together with the products that resonate with the customers' needs and community needs. Innovation, as I said already, like launching the products that are not in the market, being unique, being different, and of course having I would say also reasonable targets, making sure that we don't have targets which are too ambitious, which are not realistic. So having good realistic targets for the team members that we are confident we can reach, and making sure that throughout all this process, we have a good internal communication and communication in general within the company is the key to success. We also have a very interesting learning and development program within the Payara. So Payara makes sure that every single Payaran takes 8 hours for learning and development per month. So those are paid hours. So it's basically 1 day for your personal learning and development. Why? Because, everything is changing so fast in every segment of business operations, from marketing to finance, all these changes related to AI, artificial intelligence is everywhere, how to stay on top of everything, and having these hours which are given to people to empower them to learn every month, 1 day, that completely paid and dedicated to learning and development is something that we really value as employees. But it does impact also the business success, because then we are able to address everything what's coming up, and make ourselves ready to answer on all business challenges that might come along. And especially having a global business is challenging, because why? Every market has its own specific needs. Every market needs to be addressed differently, Every market needs to, we have to know our customers in every market. So what works in Germany will not work in the UK or in the US. So, and this is what's crucial, making sure that we are approaching each market with the right approach that works for that specific market. So there are several elements that we are trying to push with a lot of passion and initiative, I would say, within the company in order to succeed. It's not easy, I must say. It's always a lot of challenges that we are facing. But with this approach, where I would say communication is the key, especially in the remote environments, and having good communication structure and making sure that all employees are aware of our mission, vision, where are we heading to, what do we need to achieve, in a year, and specifically for each segment of the business. Every segment has their own goals they need to reach until the end of the year. Keep us all focused and on the target, and kind of help us succeed. And of course, it's also making people satisfied at work is what impacts business results. So we don't have a lot of churn. We get loads of also applications of people, but also people are not leaving Payara. They're quite satisfied with working at Payara. And, some say, they are striking a very good balance between business and private life, which impacts again business success. Some are with us because of innovation, as I said, being on top of innovation in Jakarta industry, offering the products which are not already available, thinking about the roadmap that will satisfy our community users and customers, being part of something big, because we are developing something, for our customers. And every employee, for example, working in engineering can impact the roadmap. So all these opportunities within the company, I think, are impacting the business success. So this is how we do it, and it worked for us in these previous years, and hopefully it will, work in these upcoming years. Of course, we have to learn continuously, making sure that we are on top of, knowledge in each area that we are covering, and this is something that impacts definitely the business success.
Yeah, I love that. So what would be, as my final question, what would be the one piece of advice that you would give to someone else in your position?
So I would say we are living now in the time that we cannot stop learning. So I think learning and being open to new things, despite the fact that maybe some of us can have a lot of years of experience in a certain field. The key is to learn and develop ourselves. And that would be my advice. Always find time for learning and for development. Always try to innovate and suggest some new things that will impact the business success. And I would say that people maybe at the end shouldn't be afraid, of failure. And I think it's important to be brave. If you invest time, to learn, to try things out, sometimes you also learn through some failure, and this is life at the end. And maybe the best learning comes from something where you failed, and next time you will ensure that you are the best, and that you don't repeat the same mistake. So yes, learning and innovation and being brave, that would be my kind of advice for people who have their own businesses, but also for individuals who are kind of learning, who want to succeed in their role. I think learning is the key, and yeah, that would be my kind of a final message for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking my language when you say about failure is how we learn and how we grow, and that's our whole message. And so absolutely, we didn't, to everybody listening, we didn't set that up, by the way. That's completely that's completely authentic from Valentina there. And actually, for the listeners, what we're hearing here from Valentina is that communication and support, I think, is just massive, and that spans that the marketing, that spans the way you do business, that spans the community that you create, and that definitely seems to be what you guys are really, really leaning into, and it seems to be working really, really well. So thank you so much for joining us, Valentina. That was a really great, insightful conversation, and it was great learning about yourself, Payara, and what you do.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I invite your listeners to visit Payara website, maybe especially developers who are developing Jakarta EE applications. We have something for everybody. It's open source, so feel free to explore. Also, there is a free trials for every of our products, Payara Cloud and Payara Enterprise. So I would love for your listeners to explore us more and ask questions. We are happy to help and help them succeed in their business too.
Yeah, more communication and more support.
Thank you.
Love it. So yeah, we'll get those links in the show notes to your website and to the social profiles as well. But like I say, fantastic conversation, and I'm sure we'll catch up again in future. I'd love to. Yeah, we can do a deeper dive in future, possibly, if you're up for it. And to everyone watching and listening to the show, make sure that you do follow Content in Business and subscribe, like, share, whatever is available to you, because so many of you don't. I know that you're following us on social and catching up with us on social, but you don't want to miss out on these full episodes, because you really do get some really deep insights and knowledge and inspiration to help you stay content in your business. And so with that said, thanks again, Valentina, and thank you everyone for listening and watching. I'll see you next time.
Thank you so much. Bye.